There are a few schemes in the mutual fund space that have become household names, and one of them is Parag Parikh Flexi Cap Fund. And they hit a pretty important landmark in the month of May. That is an assets under management of 1 lakh crore rupees. And they've risen to this point very quickly. In fact, in December of 2023, their assets under management stood at 50,000 crore rupees. They've doubled since then. And they had 25,000 crore assets under management in just August of 2022. So that should tell you that along with the equity markets rising, they've gotten a significant amount of inflows, and that has resulted in a very significant rise in assets under management. How have they performed in that time frame? The last 1 year has been incredible. They've gained 13.3% compared with a category average of 6.2% and a benchmark increase of 6.9%. Significant beat on both those fronts. Even in the 3-year and the 5-year time frame, they've done better than the category average as well as the benchmark. Now, why has this taken place? If you study a ratio called the down capture ratio, this will make sense to you because their down capture ratio over the last 3 years stands at 35. What you need to understand is that a reading below 100 means that when the market is falling, they have fallen less than the market. And a reading of 35 is probably better than most of their peers. On the other hand, the up capture ratio, which studies the outperformance of a scheme in a bull market, is not as good as some of its peers. In fact, the last 3 years, the ratio stands at 80, which means that they have not risen as much as the market when the market has been on an uptrend. Why is this? It's because Parag Parikh Flexi Cap Fund has taken cash calls at very significant moments over the last 3 years. Take a look at where it stands right now. 13.1% as of the end of April was in cash and cash equivalents, and they had a further 9.7% in certificates of deposit. These are effectively short-term fixed income instruments. So nearly 23% allocated towards cash and fixed income investments. That's actually gone up from 13.3% in December 2023 and 9.6% in August of 2022. What's more, their international allocation has actually dropped quite dramatically because of the overall stricture or limit for the mutual fund industry. They haven't been investing fresh in international equity. That was a standout feature for them in 2022. They had 20.4% of their assets under management in international equity. That's fallen all the way to 10% in April of 2025. All told, they continue to run a pretty concentrated portfolio, and as of the end of April, they had 26 shares or stocks and 51% allocation towards the top 10. That has more or less stayed constant over the course of the last 3 years. So this is just a snippet of how Parag Parikh Flexi Cap Fund has behaved and why it has outperformed in certain respects. Most importantly, it has fallen less than the market when the market has gone down, and that's likely primarily because of its decision to hold cash at strategic moments.